Okay, now start YouTube. YouTube is on. Now post link on Facebook group.
Okay, because you have to see in details the components, maybe it's better for a better quality, a better video quality, to see only the video from YouTube, because the video quality is higher than this one, and use this channel only for the audio. Giovanni is writing the link for YouTube video channel in this moment on the Facebook page. So you have an alternative to have a better video quality.
Then do you recommend that I leave this meeting right here?
You can choose to follow from here or YouTube, as you want. Take in account that the YouTube video quality is higher. So if you want to see particulars in the video, you can switch to YouTube channel to see better particulars, better definition. But the audio is only here. So to participate, stay here. If you want to see a better video quality, just leave a second tab on your browser linked to the YouTube video channel, so you can switch easily from one place to the other.
Okay.
Okay, I understand. So I can watch on YouTube and I can listen here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm ready. This is a package kit. Is a PCB. PCB is with the lead free treatment. Here, EC. Devo togliere l'ego qua.
There is some echo, Giovanni, some echo.
Okay, just a moment. Now?
Now it's okay, no echo.
Okay. Okay.
So while Giovanni is unpacking, I want to recall to everyone that if you want a better video quality, you can switch to the YouTube channel. The address of this channel is now on the Facebook page. So you can use this channel to hear and speak, and the other YouTube channel to see with the better video quality.
Okay, we start with the small component to big component. This is the first component to assemble. This is a diode. Diode. I'm sorry, my English no good.
Now Giovanni is preparing all the needed components from the package.
Um, this fan is for aspirator.
This fan is only to put the fume away. This is a self-made fume extractor. I suggest for always to use such fume extractor to avoid to breathe the soldering fumes. They are dangerous.
Ok, un attimo. La lista. Package list with the value. This is a diode.
Giovanni, show on the video because there is nothing.
Di 16. Ok. This is a cathode. Cathode. Is here.
This is a diode.
Diode.
So Giovanni is starting to assemble the board with the tiniest component. It's better to start with the little components and then after add the bigger one.
7 temperature.
This is a TS100 solder. It is a famous soldering iron. It is recommended also for the drag and drop SMD technique.
Putter. No, forget putter. Okay. First diode here. Second here. gli do ok. Now start with resistor. R13 R13. R13 sta qua. Adesso R20 330. Allora 390. E 12. Z80. Questo. Z80-MBC2 Z80 1 gap 2616. K2 19. Sì. Z80.
This should be last register.
Aspetta Fabio, vedo. Ok, vabbè, ce l'abbiamo risolto.
Remember when soldering that not all the joints are equal. Some components are heated to a massive copper zone, and those components need more time to have a good choice. I normally use on this fabrication a technique that is called thermal relief to try lowering this difference in soldering. But anyway, some difference remain. Another aspect is the temperature you choose for the soldering heat. Currently now I'm using a temperature setting of 350 degrees Celsius because it is a level of heating that can be good for components easy to solder and for components that are linked to copper zone, weaker, large copper zone. I think this is the last resistor, more or less. Another aspect is the technology of your solder. The legacy technology is little bit a little bit slow to follow the temperature variation, but it use more recent iron that has the sensor directly in the tip is better because the iron can follow the temperature variation more quickly.
Fabio, microfono fa rumore.
Sorry?
Ok, no, è il mio microfono. Ok, sta a posto, risolto. C'è un eco. Sta a posto, risolto. C'è un eco.
Giovanni, the audio is shut off.
Sì, ma è audio.
You have to turn on the audio on the video channel here.
Ok, no, change volume.
Okay, now it's okay.
Ok. Ok, no,
Leave in this way.
It's a FaceTime for to check best setting.
The TS100 solder that Giovanni is using is a very modern solder iron and it's very fast because the temperature sensing is in the tip. So it can follow the temperature variation very quickly. So it is recommended for the drag and drop SMD soldering too.
Ok, last resistor.
This is the last resistor, I think. Last but not least. Yes, where to find all the needed parts. This can be a little problem AliExpress or the regular components vendors. But all the parts that are needed here are normal and easy to find parts, I think. There are no fancy components or difficult to find components. After all, there are some resistors, some diodes. The integrated circuit here are very common. You can find the component on Mauser too, but of course they cost more. I know that on eBay it's possible to find also the PCB. There are some vendors that sells this PCB on eBay. I am just answering to the question on the chat. I normally buy all the components for me, of course, on mainly on AliExpress. Of course, you have to make a plan because it takes 1 or 2 months to arrive the component. So I plan what I'll do for the next month before, so I can buy the components that I need after 2 or 3 months. The other way is buy the components on the usual vendors like Mauser, DGP, and so on. Of course, the cost is higher, but you are safe that the components are not fake. This is not a problem buying components on eBay and AliExpress, that you can find fake components, and so you must have the know-how to recognize those counterfeit components. This is the real risk to buy components directly from AliExpress and a place like that. There is always a risk in doing that. Yes, of course, there is also the possibility to get the kit from Giovanni with all the components included. Someone is asking if there is the possibility to buy the components as a kit. Yes, since 2 years or more ago, Giovanni is selling a kit, and also you can buy a completed assembled and tested board. a kit already exists, and you can order it on the Giovanni site. If you don't know where is this place, just ask on the Facebook place, and Giovanni will answer. About the components, this is a great problem because sometimes this kind of counterfeit components can arrive on the standard channels too, so it's a very bad thing. I had at least 2 times get some counterfeit components absolutely not working things to me. One time was a lot of RS-232 drivers in SMD format were absolutely not usable at all, completely not usable. And another time was a lot of Max MAX 232 component deep package. I can say that all the MAX 232 components in this package sold on eBay or AliExpress are all fake, all fake. But at least they can work if you know how they can work. There is a little difference with the genuine parts because this fake component can cause a latch condition in some occasion, and there is a trick I have found to use them another famous, I can say another infamous component that is well known, that is absolutely fake, is the STM32 microcomputer unit. There are some kind of this family. There are well-known fake on eBay and AliExpress. So you have to buy them carefully. Okay. Now see the question. If I have understood well, something is asking only for the component, but not for the board. As far as I know, Giovanni is selling all the kit, so including also the board. But try to ask him if he can sell you only the component without the board. But I can say that there is almost no difference because the cost of the board is very little compared with all the components. Okay, Giovanni, now what kind of component are you soldering?
Soccer.
socket.
Yes.
Okay, now I see. This is the 40 pin socket for the or the at mega or the Z80 CPU. Yes, if you want only the integrated circuit, try to ask Giovanni, but I can say, really, I can say the integrated circuit used here, almost used here, are not hard to find because you can find everywhere. For example, the dialog Z80 is very easy to find. Also, the memory, the SRAM, and also the 80 mega 32 are not difficult to find components. Just just do a simple query on eBay. Yes, but using eBay, you can get this component worldwide. You're not a constraint to buy this component on the corner shop. I mean, if you use eBay, the component can be obtained from every part of the world. Normally, I buy all the components from China for me. Anyway, try to ask Giovanni if you have a problem to find it. Okay, this is the last socket, I think. Maybe
No, the second.
the socket. It's already soldered.
Sorry.
I must say that Giovanni is soldering in a faster way. For sure, he's faster than me. So this is the last socket.
No, Fabio, this is the second.
The second one. The other sockets are only in place, not soldered. Not soldered yet, okay.
First insert in PCB, then blocked solder only 2 pin
Okay.
for block socket. Then I first check if all pin is insert and then solder all pin. Allora, now I solder all first 2 socket 40 pin.
Now the remaining.
Now solder socket for SRAM.
As you can see, the main advantage to follow this practice, I mean start allow you to easily mount the component on one side, then start to solder them on the other side without the need of components ordered. Some people use components holder, and some of these holder are a very high cost tool. But in this case, if you use this technique, you don't need those.
Okay, our socket for SRAM is ready.
And this socket is going to now the little one. This is not a very dense board, so it's easy to solder also for the beginners. Okay.
Questo è ready. Questo last. Questo.
Another brick in the wall. This is the optional GPIO expander. I'm answering to the chat. Yes, it can be done using an ASP32, but if you try to do that, remember that that component works at 3.3 volts and not at 5 volts. So you need some tension to handle the signal.
Okay, all socket is soldered.
Okay, all sockets are done. Now the winner is okay. The resistor networks. When you use this component, pay attention to the dot because the dot is the common pin to all the resistors and must match with the sign on the board. This is the sign that marks the pin 1.
I soldered only one pin fist.
Okay, I answer to the chat. Okay, when using the ESP32, you have to take in account that this kind of components sink a lot of current. You have pay a lot of attention on the power side of your board if you use it, because that component is terrible to manage from the power supply point of view. So it's better to have a dedicated power supply for it. But it's not enough because you have to design the power supply carefully if you want to avoid problems, because the current spikes generated from the power supply are tremendous. I am currently making a board with an ASP32 for a new kind of BT100 terminal. I have showed the preview on the Facebook group some times ago. And the power design of this board must be taken with great attention. Yes, you can try to have physics on the board, but you have to compile yourself. I have tried physics because the author, Alan Cox, sent me a preview, a first preview, but I haven't had the time to make a final version. It takes too much time on the software side for me to make these things. I prefer spend my time more on the hardware side. Yes, but I must say that this board for the kind of switch bank system used here, in our case have some limitation, because with Footix you can't use programs, I mean executable program greater than 32 kilobytes, because with Footix we cannot go over the bank side, the bank size limitation. Anyway, if you want to try, you can, if you have the knowledge and the time to do that. Remember that if you read the documentation on the Alan Cox GitHub site, you have to use a special version of the SDDC compiler with a patch that he made for that, because the normal SDCC compiler can't manage the bank switching. So you have to patch even version of this compiler to have a bank switching, a working bank switching system on this board. And all of this don't come easily. So you have not only to port the code, but you have to patch the compiler, the CCC compiler, and then after you have patched the source, you have to rebuild the compiler itself. So it's not an easy task. It takes a lot of time. Too much. Too much for me, for sure. Okay, these are the small capacitor. Because the capacitor are a little bigger than the other already soldered components, now it's the right time for this to be mounted. Okay, the space under oscillator is Giovanni idea. I don't use those. The idea is the following. It's safer have some space under the crystal because it's a metal package. So if for any reason there is an hole in the solder mask, it may happen that a short circuit between the can, the metallic package of the crystal can happen with any surrounding tracks, copper tracks. So it's better have a spacer, but you can do the same if you manually add some space, for example, using a small piece of tape before you solder the crystal. Here, this is the way I normally use without the spacer.
Bene.
Yes, Giovanni is very yes, this is the crystal. I don't
Questa è la base per il quartzo.
I am on this channel. It's the spacer.
Spacer for quartz.
Okay.
si vede qua.
Giovanni is very careful of all the details, absolutely more than me about the mechanical details. I am a lot more used.
Condensatore. Vabbè, facciamo uno per volta.
Now there are some capacitors left. Of course, the ceramic capacitor come in the first phase, and the bigger electrolytic capacitor in the second phase, probably a plus. One advantage to use a PCB holder is that the board is steady when you are soldering components, but I can say you can live without that too. Sometimes I use a paper tape to make the board steady when needed. The paper tape, I am not sure that is the right English name, is that one that you use when you have to make a painting, so to protect something, because you can easily remove it. I think that now there are one or two ceramic capacitor left.
So last.
The last one, okay.
Last va. Sfuggito. I don't see. Un, due, tre, sette.
Is one part more?
I don't see.
No. Near the module, that's the module. No. I can see a place without the capacitor, so maybe is one more part, spare capacitor. No, I don't know.
Vabbè.
Okay. Better
Sì.
one more than one less.
Elettrolitica.
How many Faraday is the ceramic capacitor? Not that one, the other. Giovanni, the capacitor you have one more. How much Faraday?
Questo è 100 nanofarad.
The other one, not the electrolytic, the ceramic. Yes, that one. How much is?
Vabbè, poi vediamo dopo dove avanza.
These are low profile electrolytic capacitor, so are not so big. Ah, oh yes, I read now, the masking tape, yeah. Painter's tape, this is the same way you call them, you call it in Italy. Maybe Giovanni, check near the quartz if there is a place for a capacitor near the crutch.
Yes, I see now.
Says.
I see now.
You have
Thanks.
an eagle eye.
I see now, thanks. Eccolo qua, questo.
Okay. The missing one. Next step, I guess, are the various LED.
No, first connector.
This is the power connector. Now the programming connector. About the programming, I must say that I am currently using for the 68,000 board the integrated environment of microchip and the Linux version is absolutely a nightmare. Is terrible, and after some days I am at the point to abandon it completely because it's absolutely not working, and I am now switching to the Windows version because it's the only version that works. It's really terrible. And I have written also on the official microchip support, and I have read that a lot of people have terrible problem with microchip programming environment, and it's getting worse at every release. So if you need to use MPLAB X, the official programming environment of microchip, don't waste your time to try to use the Linux version because it's absolutely not working at all. Freeze, and freeze again. Use only the Windows version. These are the connector for the modules. I can see well. Okay. these are less easily to solve because they can easily solved in not in the right with the right angle, because it's only one row. So a little bit more attention is required in this case. Normally it's better solve only one pin, then check for the right angle, and if it's okay, then go on. If you solve only one pin, you have the possibilities to change the angle easily. But if you don't check this before, it's not possible to change the angle when all the pins are already soldered. So twice before. Okay.
Now, two transistors.
Yes, the two little transistors. Remember to follow the transistor shadow printed on the PCB to avoid to solder them upside down. I mean in reversed place. Remember that if you want to clean the board from the salt from the solder residues, you can use isopropylic alcohol. But remember that the vapor of isopropylic alcohol are not good, so use it when you have some sort of fume extractor, or open the window to have chemicals used here require a little bit attention. On YouTube you can see some video of people using, for example, solder paste like marmalade, but this is foolish. All chemicals require attention. These are the two push buttons. As you can see, there is more mechanical mass, so it is required more time to make a good solder. Okay. Now just the legs.
Now the LED. Allora,
LED chiude spacer. Take attention to the right polarity. You can check the LED polarity in two ways. One is the leg. The leg short go to the minus, the leg longer go to the plus. The second way is to see the little sign in the plastic of the LED package, but it's harder. It's easier just see the leg, which one is longer, which one is shorter. Like for the capacitor. Little capacitor, of course. Remember here that the user LED must be blue or white, because required that the voltage across the LED is more or less greater than 2.7 volts. And the voltage across the LED is a function of the color. Blue and white LED typically have a forward voltage greater than 2.7 volts. Instead, red ones have a lower voltage, about 1.7 or little more. Green is about 2 volts, depending of the specific part number code. And the yellow more or less like the green one. I have found also some pink LED that can sound strange, but they exist, at least on AliExpress. And also this pink LED have a forward voltage more or less like the white one, so at least more or less 3 volts. Okay, so let's move. Well, the job done.
Si jump. A moment.
Yes, in the PCB, cathode is marked on the PCB itself with the K letter. Almost in this PCB, because then I have changed the footprint and also the sign on the marked on the PCB, and I have changed the K letter with the symbol of the diode. I think that it's more easier to understand. If I remember well, in the B20 board, the LED footprint is different. There is the sign, the symbol of the diode. Okay. Now the spacer, the nylon spacer. And then you can put the integrated circuit on the whole socket. Hoping not to see the black magic smoke going
fa boom, fumo. Mi sembra tutto a posto.
Okay.
Now is need SD protection.
Giovanni, that is very very careful to the details is using SD protection before to manage the integrated circuit. I am a lot more used than him, so I don't use that. That is an already programmed chip, I think. This is the CPU, the Z80. You have to check when doing that no pin is angled, because you can break angled pin in this phase. So some attention is required. This is the memory. This is the 4 NAND gate. Always check that the right direction. Check that pin 1 of the integrated circuit correspond with the sign on the board. This is the I/O expander. Sometimes you need to align before the pin to avoid to break them when inserting in the socket. Okay. This is the real-time module. The SD card is already fitted with the right software, of course, and also the 18 mega microcontroller is already programmed. This is the 3-volt battery for the real-time module. This is already modified module to avoid to charge the battery because the battery here is not rechargeable. Okay, all done. Now, cross fingers. Yes, in the kit is already programmed, and the SD card also is already programmed. If you buy component yourself, of course, you have to program yourself the Mega 32 using the programming code. Anyway, it's an easy task. It takes no more than 2 minutes to do that. Also, writing the software on the SD card is easy because you have just to zip the file and copy on it on the SD card. Okay, this is the connector, the cable for the serial USB adapter.
Fabio, Windows of Minicom is visible only from user YouTube.
Yeah, okay. If you want to see in the same image the terminal emulation that Giovanni is using to interact with the board, you must reach the video on YouTube because only there you can see the picture on picture showing the content of the software Minicom terminal emulator. So you can see what Giovanni is typing. Okay, I can say that it is working. Here you can see the CPM plus running with the content of the directory on the A drive, of course on the SD card. Okay, no magic lock is gone out, and is a good sign. This is the B drive with the Turbo Pascal. The C drive with the C compiler. If I remember well, this is the high-tech compiler. This is the D drive with the Photon compiler, the Microsoft Photon. The E drive with, I don't remember. Yes, Wosta 4, I think. Yeah. the famous catch-em game that I have used a lot of time as example.
Okay, Fabio.
Okay. Well, good work, Giovanni.
Thank you.
Okay, now if Giovanni is agree, we can use last minute if there are any question for me if you want. You can ask using the chat so I can understand better, or if you try my language, my English language comprehension level, you can try to make the answer in the microphone.
Fabio, I can show page shop. Allora, chiudiamo questa pagina qua.
What you want to show?
Sì, one moment. Things don't have prepare before. No, devo aprire un'altra pagina.
I can say anything.
Lo so, sei spostato. Momento.
I can see anything. I can say anything. Lo so. Yes, Giovanni used the SD card that is normally included in the kit, and also the 80 mega 32 microprocessor unit, microcontroller unit, sorry, is the same that is normally inside the kit. I think that Giovanni used just a kit like this one he shipped normally.
Ok.
Okay, Giovanni. Now you are showing only on the YouTube video channel. Okay, Giovanni is showing on the YouTube channel his page of his shop on internet. For those in the chat requesting more information on the possibility to buy the kit online. Of course, the project is open source, so you can also make yourself.
Fabio, scusa, show new side.
Sorry?
New side.
There is also a new site that Giovanni set up with more or less the same information that you can find on my Academy site, but probably the information are more easily readable, because Giovanni made a sort of re-editing.
This section all resource, schematic, BOM file, PCB,
You
Jabber
can
file.
see on the video channel the site that Giovanni has done to make the information more readable than on the Academy site. Just in case you don't want bother to find the various information, the log page and so on of the Academy page.
This menu.
You can find all the file, all the documentation, the PDF, the schematic, the binaries and so on. Just to have things easy to read. Okay. Okay, Giovanni, I think that if there aren't any question, information, you can close now.
Okay. Thank for everybody.
Sorry?
Thank for all.
Okay, thank you all, and sorry for our very bad English.
Okay.
Thank you again. Bye bye.
Thank. Bye.